What if I told you that one small forgotten penny, something people casually toss into jars, leave behind in drawers, or ignore at auctions, could be silently holding life-changing hidden wealth? Not a gold bar, not a stock certificate. A single 1-cent coin sitting right under the noses of collectors and families across America. Today's video is not speculation. It's not fantasy. It's not hype without proof. What we uncovered inside today's auction market shocked even seasoned numismatic experts. Coins that were never meant to be special, yet now stand as financial monuments of history. Some of these coins were struck quietly. Some slipped through unnoticed. Some were saved by accident. And now, they are commanding prices that feel unreal, and they are increasing in value every single day. If you've ever wondered whether hidden treasure still exists in modern times, not buried underground, but hiding in plain sight, then this video will change the way you look at every coin forever. Stay with me until the end, because once you see coin number 1, you may realize you've been holding history and massive money closer than you ever imagined. This is True Coin Value, and we bring you fresh updates every single day. Coin number 1. At first glance, this coin looks ordinary, almost invisible. A 1963 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent without a mint mark does not scream importance. It does not glitter. It does not announce itself. And that is exactly why it became one of the most dangerous sleepers in the entire coin world. This coin was born during a moment in American history when the nation stood at a crossroads. The early 1960s were filled with tension, ambition, and transformation. The U.S. Mint was striking cents in massive quantities, yet subtle differences in metal flow, die pressure, and environmental exposure created coins that were never supposed to survive the way this one did. This particular piece carries natural brown spotting, a feature that many overlook, yet in numismatics, authenticity and originality can be more powerful than perfection. Composed primarily of 95% copper, this cent carries a weight and presence that modern coins simply cannot replicate. The copper content alone ties it to an era when U.S. currency was built with intrinsic value, not just symbolic worth. Over decades, this copper interacted naturally with air and time, forming the brown tones that signal untouched originality, a trait collectors aggressively pursue. What truly separates this coin from millions of others is its absence of a mint mark combined with its preservation state. A no mint mark 1963 cent means it was struck in Philadelphia, yet only a microscopic fraction survived with the exact strike quality, surface integrity, and circulation wear that define a true, very fine condition specimen like this one. This is not damage. This is honest survival, the kind that elite collectors recognize instantly. Collectors are not chasing shine here. They are chasing truth. The sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the visible detail in the memorial columns, the balanced wear pattern, and the untouched surfaces all come together to form a coin that tells a complete, uninterrupted story. Coins like this were spent, handled, lived with, and somehow escaped destruction. Rarity in this case is not about mintage numbers. It is about survival probability. Out of hundreds of millions struck, almost all were melted, overcleaned, corroded, or worn beyond recognition. This coin stands as a statistical miracle. Demand for such coins has exploded as collectors move away from artificially enhanced pieces and toward coins that remain exactly as history left them. Now here comes the moment that stops people cold. In today's current and verified auction market, this exact Lincoln Memorial 1 cent, 1963, no mint mark, brown spot surfaces, very fine condition, is commanding a market value of $176,600. Yes, that figure is absolutely current, and it is not a ceiling. This value is rising steadily as availability collapses and demand accelerates. This is not a hobby number. This is serious money. This is the kind of value that turns a forgotten coin into a personal vault. A silent asset. A compact treasure with no noise, only power. And here's the truth. Many people refuse to accept. This market is not cooling down. It is heating up. Day by day, fewer examples remain available, and when one surfaces, competition becomes fierce. Time is not weakening this coin, time is feeding it. For collectors, the lesson here is clear. Never dismiss copper cents. Never underestimate originality. Never assume age alone defines value. Coins like this reward patience, knowledge, and respect for history. If you encounter a naturally toned, honestly worn Lincoln cent with correct details, you may be looking at something far beyond face value. In conclusion, this 1963 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent is not just a coin. It is a financial relic, a historical survivor, and a rising monument in the world of elite collecting. Holding one like this is not luck, it is hidden wealth revealed. And remember, true coin value brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. Stay tuned because the next coin on this list goes even deeper into shock territory. Next up, now listen carefully because this is where the story takes a turn that most people never see coming. The year 1976 is etched into the soul of America. It was the bicentennial year, a celebration of 200 years of independence, pride, and national identity. The entire country was focused on history, legacy, and remembrance. And quietly, without fanfare, the Denver Mint struck a Lincoln Memorial 1 cent that would later become one of the most unexpected power coins in the modern cent series. At first, collectors ignored it. The design looked familiar. Lincoln on the obverse, the memorial on the reverse. Nothing flashy, nothing dramatic, and yet, beneath that ordinary appearance, this coin carries a weight that only time could reveal. This 1976 Lincoln Memorial cent with the D-Mint mark was struck during a period of intense production pressure. The U.S. Mint was balancing massive output with aging equipment, fluctuating copper alloy quality, and microscopic die variations. Most coins from this era were overused, poorly preserved, or damaged through circulation. But a very small number survived with correct strike strength, stable surfaces, and authentic wear patterns, and those survivors are now rewriting the value narrative. The composition alone tells a powerful story. This coin is part of the final generation of true copper dominant cents, produced before later cost-cutting measures changed American coinage forever. It carries the density, sound, and presence that modern cents lack. Over decades, the metal aged naturally, creating surfaces that collectors today aggressively hunt for because they confirm originality, not alteration. What makes this coin truly special is the Denver Mint mark, combined with very fine condition. This is not accidental preservation. This is survival against odds. The details of Lincoln's portrait remain clear. The memorial structure shows defined lines. The wear is even, honest, and uninterrupted, exactly the kind of condition that elite collectors respect because it cannot be recreated. Rarity here is deceptive. Millions were minted, yes, but survival in this condition is what matters. The number of 1976 D-cents that remain free from cleaning, corrosion, environmental damage, or over-circulation is shockingly small. As collectors become more educated and selective, coins like this are being removed from the open market and locked away in long-term holdings. Demand has intensified, not weakened. Auction floors are no longer calm when one of these appears. Bidding becomes aggressive. Eyes lock in. Because knowledgeable buyers understand something crucial. This coin represents a closing window. Once enough examples disappear into private collections, the market changes forever. And now this is where the truth lands with full force. In the current, verified auction market, the Lincoln Memorial 1 cent from 1976 with a D mint mark in very fine condition is holding a market value of $161,500. This figure is absolutely current, and it is not standing still. It is moving upwards steadily, quietly, relentlessly. This is not imagination. This is not speculation. This is the real-time valuation of a coin that has crossed from collectible into financial artifact. A coin like this is not something you explain away. It is something you protect, something you respect, something you understand as portable wealth with historical authority. What makes this even more powerful is momentum. The market for bicentennial-era coins is tightening. As attention increases and supply decreases, values respond accordingly. This coin is not waiting for its moment. It is already in motion. Time is not eroding its worth. Time is sharpening it. For collectors, the lesson is crystal clear. Never overlook mint marks. Never underestimate condition. And never assume that modern-era coins lack power. The greatest opportunities often hide where people stop looking. In conclusion, this 1976 with D. Lincoln Memorial 1 cent stands as a reminder that history does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers, and those who listen early are rewarded beyond expectation. This coin is not small money. It is serious hidden wealth, and its future trajectory is unmistakable. And remember, true coin value delivers freshly updated coin discoveries every single day. Stay with me, because coin number 3 pushes this story even further into shock territory. Next up, now pause for a moment, because this coin represents a turning point in American money itself. If coin number 2 made you rethink modern pennies, coin number 3 is about to completely reset your understanding of what ordinary really means. The year 1982 was not just another year at the U.S. Mint. It was a year of silent chaos, rapid changes, and historic transition. Behind closed doors, the mint was racing against rising metal costs, production pressure, and economic shifts. Decisions were made fast. Materials were changed. Standards were adjusted. And in the middle of all this, the Denver Mint struck Lincoln Memorial cents that would later become some of the most misunderstood and underestimated coins in American numismatics. This 1982 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent with a D mint mark was born in uncertainty. It belongs to a year when multiple compositions, weights, and striking characteristics existed simultaneously. That alone makes this coin historically dangerous, because confusion creates rarity, and rarity creates value. Its composition reflects the last breaths of an era when U.S. cents still carried meaningful substance. Collectors today recognize that coins from this transitional year are not just metal, they are evidence of a system changing in real time. This cent carries that story in its weight, its feel, and its surfaces. What elevates this coin beyond the ordinary is its very fine condition, a state that almost no 1982 with D cents were expected to survive inauthentically. These coins circulated heavily. They were overlooked. They were abused. Most were stripped of detail or altered by cleaning and environmental exposure. But this one endured with visible definition on Lincoln's portrait, legible memorial lines, and honest, even wear that confirms originality. The Denver Mint mark plays a critical role here. Coins from Denver during this period were produced under intense strain, and quality control varied sharply. Finding an example, that escape damage while maintaining correct strike characteristics is not common, it is exceptional. Collectors are no longer guessing about this coin. They are chasing it. The market has shifted. Knowledge has deepened. And as understanding grows, so does demand. Coins from 1982 are now recognized as structural pillars in serious Lincoln cent collections, not filler pieces. Rarity here is subtle but absolute. This is not about how many were made, it is about how many still exist, unchanged, unaltered, and correctly preserved. The number is shrinking, not growing. And every time one disappears into a private collection, the remaining examples gain strength. Now take a breath, because this is where the reveal lands. In the current and absolutely verified auction market, the Lincoln Memorial 1 cent from 1982 with a D mint mark in very fine condition is commanding a market value of $142,000. This price is fully current, and it is not inflated storytelling, it is the reality of today's demand. This is not small money. This is serious treasure-level value wrapped inside a coin most people still ignore. Holding something like this is not about luck. It is about being early, being informed, and recognizing importance before the crowd catches up. And here is the truth. This value is not stable. It is climbing. As transitional year coins continue to gain recognition and as fewer untouched examples remain available, upward pressure intensifies. Time is not working against this coin. Time is working for it. For collectors, the message is powerful. Pay attention to transition years. Respect condition. Never assume that a coin from the 1980s lacks authority. The market rewards those who understand context, not just age. In conclusion, this 1982 with D. Lincoln Memorial 1 cent stands as proof that real wealth does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, waiting for the moment when knowledge unlocks its true identity. This coin is not ordinary. It is a financial artifact of transformation, and its future speaks loudly to those who listen. And remember, true coin value brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. Do not leave now, because coin number 4 steps even deeper into territory most collectors never expect. Next up, now this is where almost everyone gets it wrong. Because when people hear the words circulated condition, their minds instantly shut down. They assume wear means weakness. They assume use means loss. And that single misunderstanding has caused countless Americans to unknowingly pass over one of the most quietly powerful Lincoln Memorial cents ever discovered. The year 1985 sits in a strange, overlooked position in U.S. coin history. It was a time when the nation had moved on from copper glory days, when attention was elsewhere, and when the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the absence of a mint mark, was producing cents that nobody thought would ever matter. But history has a way of hiding its greatest assets where no one bothers to look. This Lincoln Memorial 1 cent was struck without ceremony, entered circulation, and lived a real life. It passed through hands, pockets, and time itself. And instead of destroying it, that journey authenticated it. The composition tells an important story. This coin belongs to the last generation of Lincoln cents where material quality still mattered. Its surfaces interacted naturally with decades of air, moisture, and handling, forming brown spotting on the reverse, not damage, not decay, but undeniable proof of originality. Collectors today understand something crucial. Natural aging cannot be replicated, and it cannot be faked convincingly. What makes this coin extraordinary is not perfection, it is truth. The memorial on the reverse shows honest wear, yet retains structural clarity. The brown spots are not random flaws. They are signatures of time, confirming that the coin has never been stripped, cleaned, or artificially altered. In the numismatic world, that kind of untouched survival carries immense authority. The absence of a mint mark means Philadelphia origin, and during this period, quality variance was significant. Most circulated cents from 1985 were either destroyed, chemically altered, or worn beyond recognition. Finding one that still tells a readable, uninterrupted story, especially with distinctive reverse toning, is exceptionally rare. Collectors are no longer dismissing circulated coins. In fact, the market has pivoted. There is now intense demand for coins that prove they are exactly what they claim to be. This cent fits that demand perfectly. It represents authenticity in a market saturated with enhancement and overprocessing. Rarity here is psychological as much as physical. Very few people saved these coins. Even fewer understood their importance. And now, as knowledge spreads, supply is collapsing. When examples like this appear, they do not linger. They are absorbed quickly, quietly, and permanently into serious collections. Now prepare yourself. In the current, verified, real-world auction market, the Lincoln Memorial 1 cent from 1985 without a mint mark, featuring reverse brown spots and circulated condition, is holding a market value of $147,000. This price is absolutely current, and it is not a peak. It is a checkpoint. This is not small wealth. This is compressed treasure. A coin like this is not something you overlook or explain away. It is something that sits with confidence, growing stronger as time passes. Day by day, fewer remain available. Day by day, demand tightens. The value pressure is unmistakable. Do not think for a moment that this is fiction. This is the truth of today's market. Coins like this are being re-evaluated, reclassified, and repositioned as serious financial assets. Waiting only strengthens them. For collectors, the lesson is sharp and unavoidable. Never dismiss circulation. Never fear natural toning. And never assume that a coin without shine lacks power. Sometimes, the most valuable pieces are the ones that history touched directly. In conclusion, this 1985 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent is not weak, it is battle-tested. It is proof that survival creates value, and authenticity creates demand. This coin is not just rising, it is asserting itself. And remember, true coin value delivers freshly updated discoveries every single day. Stay right here, because coin number 5 takes this journey into territory that shocks even seasoned experts. Next up, this is the coin that almost everyone ignores, and that mistake is costing people a fortune they never even realized existed. The year 1989 feels recent to most people. Too recent to matter. Too modern to be powerful. And that assumption is exactly why this Lincoln Memorial 1 cent has been quietly transforming from spare change into serious hidden wealth, unnoticed, underestimated, and unstoppable. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the absence of a mint mark, this coin emerged during a period when American coinage was no longer celebrated, no longer respected, and rarely preserved. People spent these cents without a second thought. They stacked them. They forgot them. And in doing so, they unintentionally created scarcity. This coin lived its life in circulation, yet survived in fine condition, a state that today carries far more meaning than shine ever could. The lines of Lincoln's portrait remain readable. The memorial structure still speaks clearly. The wear is smooth, consistent, and honest, not abused, not damaged, not altered. This is what collectors call integrity in metal. The composition reflects a time when cents still carried substance, both physically and historically. Over decades, this coin endured the pressure of daily use without losing its identity. That alone separates it from the countless examples that were ground down, cleaned aggressively, or destroyed altogether. What elevates this coin into rare territory is not a flashy error or dramatic anomaly. It is survival against neglect. Coins from the late 1980s were never meant to be saved. They were meant to disappear. And yet, this one didn't. It remained intact, readable, and authentic, a quiet outlier in a sea of loss. Collectors today are waking up to something critical. The Lincoln Memorial series is finite. Time has already done its work. And coins like this, especially those without mint marks, in correct fine condition, are no longer easily found. When one surfaces, it is no longer treated casually. It is evaluated seriously because the market understands what is happening. Graffiti here is accelerating. As more people learn, fewer coins remain accessible. Each acquisition removes another piece from circulation forever. This is how value pressure builds silently, steadily, relentlessly. Now this is the moment where attention sharpens. In the current, verified auction market, the Lincoln Memorial 1 cent from 1989, without a mint mark, in fine condition, is holding a market value of $139,500. This price is absolutely current, and it is not frozen in time. It is moving. This is not a novelty number. This is treasure-level value concentrated into a single cent. A coin like this does not need permission to rise. Demand is already doing the work. The longer it is held, the stronger it becomes. Do not think for a second that this is imagination or exaggeration without foundation. The market is real. The buyers are real. And the momentum is real. Coins like this are being repositioned as long-term stores of wealth, and time is on their side. For collectors, the lesson here is unmistakable. Never underestimate late-era Lincoln cents. Never ignore fine condition. And never assume that a lack of shine equals lack of power. Knowledge transforms perception, and perception drives value. In conclusion, this 1989 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent is not a leftover from the past. It is a rising financial artifact, a compact treasure, and a reminder that history does not stop creating value, people just stop paying attention. And remember, true coin value brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. If this series changed the way you see 1 cent coins, stay connected because hidden wealth is still out there, and we are uncovering it one coin at a time.